Kathleen Saucier is a Navy sailor. He's in prison, sentenced to a year there. He shared classified pictures of a nuclear sub. Hillary Clinton used a private server for multiple classified emails. No charges for her. She's running for the presidency. Come on in. Kathleen Saucier, the mother of the young man who is now in prison. Now, Kathleen, have I got this right? Your son, he did exactly the same thing that Hillary Clinton did. That is accurate, is it?
Actually, no, Stuart. First, thank you for having me on this morning. I'd like to clarify that. The judge clearly stated during my son's sentencing that there was no evidence whatsoever that he ever shared any of the photos that were on his phone, the 6 photos that were taken when he was 22 years old. There was never any evidence whatsoever for that.
So he took the pictures, but he
Correct.
stored them on his own PC, his computer. And then he destroyed the computer because he was worried about the consequences of putting the pictures on there. And for that, he goes to jail. Is that accurate?
Well, let's accurate again. So it's a legal mumbo-jumbo, I suppose. But what he's actually going to prison for is not the charges of destroying that. Those charges were dismissed during his sentencing. He's going to prison, and he hasn't actually reported yet. The judge gave him a little time to prepare his family for him going to prison. He'll be reporting on October 12th to federal prison, and those charges are specifically just for having the photos on his phone.
Did he try to mount an appeal based on the difference between his sentence and what happened to Hillary Clinton?
Yes, his defense attorneys did attempt to do that, and it was dismissed before going to sentencing by the prosecution.
How does he feel about this? I mean, I can see that your son there, with a little grandchild there, his child. How does he feel about this? He must be really fit to be tied.
I can tell you we've gone through many range of emotions, but where we're at right now at this point is devastated that my son's life and dreams since 9/11, when he was in high school and saw the Twin Towers go down, and he made the decision to enlist in the Navy, even though he'd received a congressional nomination to go to the Naval Academy. He chose instead to go as an enlisted young man. Those were his hopes and dreams for his future. He planned on being a lifelong Navy man. Myself as his mom and our family were very proud and continue to be proud of the service. No matter what has happened, we're grateful and proud that he took that choice and stood up for his country. And we're proud to be Americans.
He just should not have taken the pictures of the sub. That's it.
Correct.
That's it.
Correct.
What did he intend to do with the pictures? It was just like a family picture or something, or a picture of interest for his family?
Based on what was shared during this course through his defense attorneys, was that he planned to have them as tokens of his time in the military service to share with his family later on in his life.
I think it's just a terrible thing. Look, thank you very much indeed, Kathleen, for coming on the show and telling us the story, because a lot of people do not know this story as you set it against what happened to Hillary Clinton or didn't happen to her. Kathleen, thank you very much indeed. And you have the sympathy of all of our viewers, I'm sure. Last word to you.
And yes, thank you, Stuart. Thank you so much for taking the time. I think it's important that we recognize and acknowledge that as American citizens, we should all be held to the same standard, to include Hillary Clinton and her staff, who have obviously violated mishandling classified information, not just once, not 6 times, but thousands and thousands of times, and the evidence has come forward multiple times, and it's time for them to stand up to the same standard that my son and our family has had to go through.
Kathleen Saucier, thank you very much for being with us today, and our very best to your entire family. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.